Okay, Andrew, your package arrived. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look. I've unboxed it here, and all right, just to look at it as it's come. All right. Okay, looks pretty good. Let's take a closer look here. Okay, so first impressions, some things we know about the dial, of course. Hands look pretty good. Watch, and I'll tell you why once we get it opened up. Like I had said, this is a older watch. You can tell that by this notch right here in the case. That's a very special thing for this. Hopefully we'll see. Yeah, it's 1969, and it's marked November. So this is November 1969. Okay, so you get some scratches, you get some definite buildup of stuff. It's been uncleaned, but the case itself is in great shape. You've got good lines. It's a very nice watch. These lines are all unpolished. You can tell that. You see that little reflection right there. And the bottom half looks pretty good. All right, so all in all, the case is very nice. Your bezel here looks correct for this era. It's got good wear. We'll replace that crystal, of course. Very close look. I think that your minute hand is good, and your sweep hand is a two-part type. You can see that here. There's a definite distinction, and let me show you another 6139 that's mine. That is a single part sweep. You see there's no silver divot in the center. Okay, so let's get back to your watch. What I'd like to do now is see if I can get the back off. Sorry for the noise in the background. It's my dog. All right, so let's take off the back. And looks okay. We've got immediately what I can see here is we've got a component of your stem. So looks like somehow somebody put this is to turn the inner bezel, this gear right here, and it's sitting on top of your movement. So hopefully it didn't do any damage, but we'll take a quick look at that. So this is a B movement, or no, I'm sorry, it's an A movement. 17 joules, you're missing a screw here, so we'll have to figure out one of those. And this one doesn't look so hot either. That screw right there should be different. I don't know, somebody's been in here in the past and has done some unfriendly things. But we'll take a close look and make sure everything's all right. Few things to keep track of here. Your hairspring looks okay, so that's good. I won't know until I get deeper into the watch. You can see there's some slight issue here with your hammer, some damage. It doesn't feel like your wheel is engaging anything as it spins. So the automatic component here should hear a tick every time you have this go around a few times, but you don't hear anything. So that okay. So let's take a look. Case back here. You've got a servicing mark. It looks like, well, I can't really take anything from these numbers. Sometimes it's a little hard to know. But okay, so it has been serviced. I mean, the watch has certainly been hacked on in the past. The fact that you don't have anything underneath of this this winding bridge means that somebody has done some quick and dirty work to get this movement back into a shape that looks like a movement, but has left out a component, a very essential component, in fact. You may need a stem. We'll check that. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to go ahead and try and, well, first things first, let's just take this winding rotor off because it's not actually doing anything. Some hairs and things. Yeah. So that should be engaging with your mainspring. That's an odd piece to see here. All right, there are some issues. Oh, in fact, that is your winding component. It's stuck down into the movement down here. Okay, so things have come apart, and I'll tell you why. This screw not being here has allowed this component to sort of freewheel a bit, and you can see there's scoring. There's other things. It's not you know, forever. It's not done. The movement's still okay, I think, but it has certainly seen some rough handling and somewhat inconsistent work. Okay, that's not to say it's all bad. It's certainly not all bad. We can salvage a lot of stuff. All right, so this pusher is stuck. We'll push it back. There it goes. Okay, that's out. And this pusher is also stuck, but now it's out. Okay, so you got springs here that are gummed into place, which is not a bad thing. You just clean. Mostly just cleaning. I'm a little concerned about what's going on here, but I think we'll be all right. So there's your hammer. It's got a little bit of interaction. Looks like that's okay. Missing a spring that operates the hammer, so that's not good. I have an extra. Okay, so you don't have a winding stem. That's not good either. So you have nothing to wind the watch with, and I'm nervous if that's, no, it's not broken. So you have just an empty crown. There's nothing in there. No stem whatsoever. And I'm not sure if that's correct. I'll have to take a closer look. Certainly you need new gasket. Those are hard as nails. Yeah, it looks okay. It's got some pretty big scratches, but that's just cosmetic. So we have two components. We have, associated with this, we've got your gear and your crown. Those are a good start. You need a spring and a stem, which I can get, and I may even have in stock, so we may be able to just go ahead and work. All right, so let's move on to other things. So I'm going to put this aside for a moment. We'll take it out in just a sec, but I want to show you a few things that I have that may be interesting to you. You got a really nice, we're going to go ahead and change out this dial for sure, but your indicator, your rotating ring, is really looking very nice. It's not faded, and it's in very good shape. Your pip looks like it's been reloomed, but I can take a look at that. So there are a couple options, a couple ways to go. And let me show you. Okay, Andrew, here are some things I wanted to show you. So we have a couple different options for your watch, and I want you to tell me what you'd like. So here are the three things that I think are quite cool. So you have a resist watch. Now, this is a remake of a proof dial, speed timer proof dial from 1969. This is, and these are all remanufactured parts, and these are not original. These are done very nicely and look very, very nice by comparison to things a few years ago, which I think your watch might have on it. What I have coming in the mail is the exact replica of this dial. This is a blue, what's called a Severt resist text dial that is also being remanufactured today. And you know, I just don't have an original one like this in stock to sell, but I have one coming that we thought might be good for your watch. But I wanted to give you a couple other options as well. Your watch is not going to be 100% original, but you will have some things that will allow you some flexibility and a very beautiful watch at the end of the day that I want to just lay out for you here and give you the opportunity to make choices about. So one of them is changing what your watch looks like. So if we go with what your watch was intended to look like, at least from the looks of the watch, we can't tell from the way it is, but the way it's set up right now, you have this dark colored ring, which means that you had a dark colored dial. Now, there is an exception to that. There's the Australian Pogue, which is not what your watch is, but if we're going for non-original components, then we can basically do what we like. So I'm going to just take your watch out of the case here. So what you could do is you could do what's called an Aussie Pogue. And this I have in stock, so it's fairly easy to imagine what it might look like. Here's your watch with dark ring and yellow dial. Or you could imagine doing a yellow dial and a yellow ring, for example. It's also very nice. You could even get away with a yellow ring and a speed timer dial. Your watch is early enough to have a speed timer dial. Now this is a proof and your back says resist, so you'll have a sort of proof resist difference. If we just go with your watch being what I think it was from the factory, it will be a lot like this watch. Although yours is slightly earlier than this one because you have the two-part sweep hand. That being said, these are all options. Now, price-wise, this is the cheaper option, as will be your dark dial. This dial, because it's so well made and it represents an earlier style, this is slightly more expensive. It's about double the price of this. So this one's on the scale of $100 for this dial, and this is on the scale of $50, $60 for this dial. And these are, you know, in the range, but you don't need one of these. So you could stick with your dark dial, or I'm sorry, your dark ring and a dark dial and be in pretty good shape. Now this dial isn't correct, and it's quite bad. Now, your hands are cool. They are the gabled hands. I like these. I think they're quite nice, actually. And if you don't want them, I certainly think they're cool enough to keep for a project. I do have, give me one second. Maybe I don't. I thought I had some replacement hands. I think your hands are nice. I don't think there's any reason to change them. Those are different style. I believe I have an old set, which aren't in very good shape, which wouldn't really suit your watch. And what I can do is I can try and clean up some of the hazing that's on these, which is not a hard thing to do. I can just clean the metal with a little bit of cleaner and get that looking pretty good. The best part about your watch is this. And if that is with the original chronograph component, you're in great shape. This I have to take a very close look at to see. Yeah, I think that's original too. Has the same coloration. Yep, That's a good piece. So your minute sweep hand is actually also original, but this dial isn't. Okay, I'm going to send you this video. I want you to let me know what you want. This is the default. This is a slight change in style. This is a similar style. It doesn't have any text on the dial, but I have this in stock. I have an orange ring, and you have your original ring, which is actually in very nice condition. So those are all your choices. Please let me know.